All right, guys, so we are back with my lottery top 14 NBA big board for the draft. I didn't want to do top 30, I didn't want to do top 60, but nothing more than we just getting right into it. Um, there are a couple players I left off, so just so mention a few. Like I left off like Bennett Sturts. I'm trying to think about everyone else. Really like, I mean, you comment down below to remind me of some guys that you think that I'm deferring opinions from a lot of people on. Just comment down below. I'll probably respond. But start off at 14, we're going to have Jaden Quains. I have Jaden Quains at 14. A little bit lower than consensus because I haven't seen him play much. And even when he was playing, he wasn't some kind of dominant player. I get he was in minutes restriction, but he wasn't even that great last year at ASU. And ASU was awful. ASU was terrible. And I know he was younger. He's a reclass, so he's the same age as a freshman, which is interesting because it's because we've seen him now play, well, not really 2 years of basketball because he's barely played this year, but he's been in college for 2 years. He's been kind of underwhelming, so he's not really viewed as like this freshman class, but he is that age, so it is interesting to see like how he really matches up because there's a world where he becomes this really really good double big and he becomes super impressive where he's gonna grab a ton of boards. He's gonna get become a really good pick and roll guy. But right now, like I just haven't seen much. I don't really see it to begin with. Like this is not. He doesn't have huge defensive upside. He doesn't have huge offensive upside, in my opinion. Like I don't really understand the hype coming kind of comes to Jane Quains. I haven't been impressed. Mark Pope said that he's pretty much like not basketball activity. I think the camp's gonna shut him down for the year. But I don't even think he's the level of where Shaden Sharp was at coming out of high school or skipping college and then coming into the NBA. Like I don't even think he's at that level. I have been super impressed with a guy like Jaden Quains, when he's played. So it kind of was to a different level. So comment down below if you guys think you agree, but I do have him at 14. I've been super impressed. So yeah, that's why he's a little bit lower for me. Going on to 13. 13, I have Hans Steinbach. So Hans Steinbach's been interesting. So he's a freshman again from I think Germany. I think it's German. At Washington, he's been really productive. He's kind of like that guy who's he's not going to be crazy, but I think he could stay in the league for 10 to 15 years. Like when I look at Hans Steinbach, and I'm not trying to make the European connection here, but I kind of see a guy like Vooch. Like I think that there's a guy that just plays his role. I know Vooch made an all-star team. Like I don't really know if I fully see that for Hans Steinbach, but I think Hans Steinbach could be your third or fourth best player on the championship team. Like you're telling me he can't play the role of who's a good one? Miles Turner. You know what I mean? Now he has to get the 3-point shot going, but you're telling me that guy can't play the level of a guy like Miles Turner was the big on a team that lost in the championship. Like my idea is that he becomes a solid contributor. He's more of a sure thing, I would say, compared to obviously a guy like we just said, Jaden Quains. He's kind of like more of a sure thing prospect where he's gonna grab a lot of boards. He's gonna score a good amount of points. He could just be a playmaker for you, but he's played really well on a not so good a Washington team that we thought would have been better, but no, Desmond Claude's out and raised a lot of questions, but he's been the guy for Washington as a freshman. He stepped in and contributed nicely, and I like the upside. Not as an all-star, not as an all-NBA player, but I like him to be a solid player for a very long time. So at 12, I have Braden Burries. This is also, I feel like I'm pretty above consensus on this one. Braden Burries for me is, I like the combo guard, and he's been able to shoot a little bit. Let me pull up the stats, but I like the way he's been shooting it. Arizona's obviously the best team in the country, so he's been, you could say so obviously Jaden Bradley's been the playmaker. So Jalen Bradley's been the playmaker. Koa Pete's been a higher option than him. But Nemo Krivas hasn't. But he's been fortunate to play with really good bigs and a defensive workhorse. But I've been super impressed because I think that not only has Braden Burries taken a step in this recent kind of spike, offensively, but defensively, he's been really good too. Like this Arizona team has not many holes. They've got four guys who play defense and four guys who play. Their four best players play defense, and their four best players play offense. But Braden Burries, so obviously he's up to 15 points a game. I'm looking at the shooting splits. Let me look at 37%. I like it. I think that's pretty good. I mean, could he get the 40 mark? Like 30 minutes a game. He's not playing, or he's playing 28 minutes a game. Not super heavy, but I like he's got 3 assists to 1 turnover, 4.5 boards, 15 points, like 1.6 steals. He's been very productive, and I've been super impressed with a guy like Braden Burries because I think he has the ability to become a really good combo guard at the next level. Do I kind of see a little bit like Tyler Harrow? I mean, a little bit like kind of like that. Like I said, like that combo guard build, and I got like in Braden Burries. Like I 100% believe that he'll be a productive NBA player. Maybe I could see him turning into kind of like that spark plug off the bench, but maybe I see Andrew Nemhart, like that kind of contributor. Tyler Harrow's obviously, he's a star, but you're never gonna win a championship with Tyler Harrow. It was a weird thing, but I can see Andrew Nemhart plays really good defense. Now Braden Burries is a lot more upside offensively than Andrew Nemhart. Nemhart is not great in the regular season, and then he just goes crazy in the playoffs. But like Braden Burries does have a lot of offensive upside, and I personally I do like the ability to become a really good high level guard in a supporting role, not that lead guard, but he'll be, in my opinion, he'll 100% be super effective in the NBA. But at 11, I believe we have our only non-freshman on this list, which is absolutely no, two. Yeah, we have two non-freshmen. That kind of spoils it a little bit, but that's insane to me. But that just shows the depth of this freshman class. So at 11, I have Mo Krivas, a little bit of the running mate for Arizona. I think I have him a little bit higher than Koa Pete because Krivas is this huge, towering body. I see him a little bit like Kaman Maluak, but Mo Krivas, the biggest problem, dude, is that foul trouble is awful. But he's kind of like that, let's develop him. He's really big, maybe we develop a shot maybe at some point. Pretty much, actually, I'm going to flip this, actually. I would actually have Mo Krivas at 13. I actually have Hans Steinbach above him because I think they're kind of gonna play similar roles in the NBA. But I like Mo Krivas in this role where he is kind of in, kind of a big, kind of like Zach Edey. Just get boards, play defense, and score me 8 to 10 points. Like, I would say Mo Krivas' ceiling would be like Zubac, where he is, he's got a good post game, he scores, but he's never going to be your best player. He's probably never going to be your second best player. But if he plays really well with really skilled guards, like, you could win championships. And I think that's a long-term vision. Granted, he's much more of a project than a lot of other players. But I 100% I love the upside. And I think he will. I think that potential will be. Obviously depending on what team he goes to, but I have trust that the long term upside will hit. At 10, I got Braylon Mullins. Braylon Mullins, I gotta pull up his stats too. He has been a super productive shooter when he has played. And the thing I love about Braylon Mullins is that like it's not just catch and shoot, like it's shooting off balance. Only 11 points per game, but obviously he's been 37.9, which is basically 38% from three. He's only played in 15 games. He's shown that again, like I love his. I think when you shoot, you have a spot anywhere. And I don't know, like if I think the scout on Braylon Mullins is that if you can just you can be my second guard, and you can take maybe even turns into a Tyler Hero, kind of like what I just said about who was it? Braden Burries. Like I could totally see a scenario where Braylon Mullins is becoming this guard who he makes 4 to 5 threes a game, and he's scoring and averaging 20. Like I could 100% see that. He was really good. Obviously, he had suffered the hand injury, but right before missed. I think he did miss a little bit of time, and he's had. So the thing about him is he's had a little bit inconsistent minutes. I need to see the defense get a little bit better, but I think offensively he has this. It's a little bit of a spark plug, a little bit, but again, like the shooting ability is so high level, and considering he came out as such a high level shooting prospect, I love the idea that, you know, he's gonna, and he's not just a shooter. Don't get me wrong. He's a 3 level. He's an offensive guy. Like he's a scorer. Really, he's a scorer at the end of the day. But he's had 17 points at Kansas. He has had some stinkers like 10 points in 25 minutes against Texas. He only played 11 minutes against Florida. But he's also had games where he had 24 and 41 minutes against Providence. Granted, Providence isn't great, but he shot for 6 for 10 from 3. And just the other day, yesterday actually, he shot 4 for 8 from 3 in 30 minutes against Creighton. Like I feel like that's the Braylon Mullins that you're expecting. You want this guy that will, just go up and knock down threes. Like that's what I like about it, and that's definitely what he will turn into in the NBA. At 9, I have Darius Acuff, the lead guard at Arkansas. He's been super great, super good for the Razorbacks. Leading a top 15, well, they're going to drop out of the loss, but a former top 15 team in the AP poll. Arkansas likes to play this style, the Cal style. It's dribble drive, get downhill. And the funny thing is, when I watch Acuff play, he's a little unconventional. His finishing is not like this. Like he doesn't look. It's kind of clunky. You know what I mean? It's not super smooth. But the dude just hits shots, and he plays defense. Like Cal has actually recruited these dudes to just play defense. Like DJ Wagner plays defense. Billy Richmond. But him and Malik Thomas, both freshman duo, have been really good. Acuff's been running the offense. It's not Braden Burries or anything where he's taking a little bit of backseat or Braylon Mullins where they're not handling the ball. Like Acuff's a true point guard, and I hope that he turns into. The only thing that scares me is he's a little bit too ball dominant, and he's not the biggest dude. But I think he's got this toughness to him. He has this. I think all of your. I'm kind of forgetting the word a little bit, but all the intangibles. The intangibles are all there with Acuff. It's just the only concern for me is he's just ball dominant in a very big, very huge, dribble drive offense where, he doesn't really know how to move off ball. I would love to see him next to a really great wing scorer. Like we see how good he is next to Trayvon Brazile. Now Trayvon Brazile is a 6'10" power forward, but Trayvon Brazile plays. He shoots it really well. He drives. Trayvon Brazile's got this kind of wing. He's basically a wing in a power forward body. He's a lot slim too. But yeah, like I said, Acuff's got this toughness to him. It worries me a little bit, but I like the idea of him being a really good, ball dominant point guard with a really good wing scorer next to him. And that's what I love for Acuff. And he plays defense too. Like he's just a tough dude who I think he knows how to win basketball games. And Arkansas is obviously going to be, higher seed in the tournament than they have in past years, and how Cal has been. But I think he's the next great Cal guard in my opinion. So I do like Darius Acuff a lot. Number 8. So 8 and 9 were very interchangeable for me. I have Michael Brown. He's struggled a lot lately, but I'm gonna bet on the fact that I think he's just an absolute playmaker when he's on. He's about 6'4", 6'5", somewhere around that range. I hope the splits because he has not been great lately. It's been kind of rough. I have not been impressed. Um, but I kind of love Michael Brown coming in or anyway. He's still averaging 16 to 5, so maybe I was wrong a little bit. Yeah, I mean, yeah, man. That now I'm looking at it, man. 1 for 13 against Duke. That is terrible. I mean, they lost by 30. Yeah, like Indiana, he put up a stinker, 9 points. But Arkansas, he had 22, and those are two really good guards. Except the thing that has been so weird to me is his. He's okay. It says so he was obviously out for a month, so I was wrong. I forgot about the injury, but since coming back from the injury, he had a really good game against Virginia Tech, but Virginia Tech's obviously awful. Um, the shooting has been weird. The shooting has not been great this year, which is weird because I think if he knocks down a 3-point shot, like he kind of gives you all that you want. He's kind of this driving guard who, he's a playmaker. Like a pick and roll game, he can shoot, he can catch and shoot. Like he's not limited. Where it's kind of with Darius Acuff, where I kind of see him as this ball dominant point guard, but with the thing about Michael Brown is I think he can play off ball too, and I think that the shooting will translate. Like I said, water always finds level. He has some games where he is on fire from three. Clearly, he has the shooting ability. It's just not consistent yet. But 5 assists, 16 points. Like those are good numbers. I love to see the assist numbers there. He does play with really great guards with next to him, shooting guards specifically, like Ryan Conwell and Isaac McNeely. But he has really bad bigs next to him too, so that kind of changes it a little bit. But yeah, again, like the there's between him and Darius Acuff is definitely the on ball versus off ball argument. Whereas Michael is much better off ball, and I kind of like him. I actually think Michael actually has a higher chance of being a lead guard than Acuff, because I think Acuff could end up being like a Mike Conley guy, 6th-round league for a while because he's tough, he plays defense, and he makes enough shots to get by. Whereas I think Michael could actually be a superstar really if he if he translates. I think he'd be a superstar, in my opinion. Number 7, I have LeBaron Philon. LeBaron Philon, I'll be honest, guys, like, this kind of goes against it, but I just love his scoring ability. Like, I watch him play, and he's genuinely, like, one of the best guard scorers in the country. Like, he hits the threes, he gets to the hoop, he has these crafty athletic finishes on bigs, like, I just kind of look at him and I think this dude's going to average 20, 25 in the NBA, he's going to make a couple all-star teams. I think he's a little bit bigger too. I think he's around 6'3". Hold on, let me look it up. But again, like him and Holloway, yeah, 6'4", 185. A little bit of a combo guard. He's averaging 22 right now, man. Holy crap. Really like now that off the top of my head, I don't remember many like big games he goes away, except when he wasn't great against Florida, 14 points. But he was 4 for 7 from 3. Yeah, Tennessee, he came out, he had 26. That was a pretty big game. Sometimes he's a little streaky with shooting wise, and really just overall shot making. He's a little streaky, but like we know he has the ability. He has the ability in him. Yeah, Vanderbilt. He only played 20 minutes. It's kind of weird, actually. I didn't watch that game, but I mean, two fouls, man. It's not. I don't know, but again, he still had 18 points. Actually, so really, 18 points in 20 minutes is pretty great. Arizona again, he showed up. He had 24. That game, I remember Aiden Holloway didn't really show up in that tandem. Yeah, Gonzaga, he had 29. Like the shot making is unbelievable, and he's shooting 5 to 6, 5, 6, 7 threes a game. Like, if he can shoot 40% on that volume like he is right now at 37, I love it. I love the shot making. I think this guy could be a lead guard with a really good big. Like, if I have to think like guy in the league right now, like I can't really think of one right now, but he is a really really good scorer, and that's what I love to see. Where guys like that find roles. I think he's more dynamic than a guy like Benedict Mathurin, whereas Benedict Mathurin is more like a wing. But yeah, I mean, I kind of love him next to another really good big that he really hasn't he hasn't really had it at Alabama. Like, he was kind of screwed last year because he was next to Mark Sears. Cliff Amoria and Grant Nelson were not. They were decent, but they weren't scorers. Phylon, I've just been super impressed with this year, and that's the reason I'm super high on Bama going into it. Is because him and Holloway can make these threes that no one else can make. The whole team, like they shoot these threes that I just think, oh my god, like my high school coach would kill me if I did that. But going on next, Kingston Flemings I have at 6. Some people have him at 5. I think you guys can already kind of tell the guy that I have higher than everybody else does, but Kingston Flemings is a big one for me. He's a little smaller, but dude, he is a Kelvin Sampson guard with scoring. Like, he is not like Jamal Shed, dude. He plays Jamal Shed. Well, nobody can play Jamal Shed defense. That dude is unbelievable. Jamal Shed was one of the best guys and players in Houston history, in my opinion. But Kingston Flemings obviously had a 40 burger against Texas Tech. Granted, that's against Christian Anderson. He's kind of the perfect matchup against Christian Anderson and Jaden Petty. But he's got speed. Let me pull the numbers actually for Kingston Flemings too. But really, like, he's just been super impressive, like scoring, playing, really everything. And I'm watching his stuff too after the game. Like, his attitude is unbelievably good. Yeah, so this is a good example. So, last game, Cincinnati yesterday, they won by 22. He only had 7 points, but he still had 6 assists, 4 boards. Like, I'll take it. 30 minutes. I'm sure he played really good defense too. But again, he had 27 against TCU. He had 42 against Texas Tech, 20 against ASU. It does scare me. He has a couple of games where he simply just does not play well. Like Baylor, 10 points, 0 for 3, 5 for 12. Then again, he's still contributing in the game. This is true. So this is a recent trend. He's fouling a lot. And it's against these really good guards, too, except for Christian Anderson, which is the most bizarre thing ever. Oh, no, yeah, here it is. So obviously they played Texas Tech twice. They won the first time. So he has 4 fouls when guarding Acuff, right? 2 when guarding Jacoby Gillespie, that's not bad. But 4 when he's guarding Jane Harrelson. And then when he faces Christian Anderson the second time, he's got 4. Brock Harding, Jaden Pierre, he's got 3. But he's got 4 against Baylor, 4 against West Virginia. Like, foul trouble is certainly an issue. That's definitely not a discussion. But the shot making, great. He's a really good point guard in general. Like, he's had at least 5 assists. He hasn't had less than 5 assists since December 13th. That's about a month and a half about at this point, maybe a little more than that. I've been super impressed with him. Like, the scoring, I didn't expect to be this good. The playmaking and defense I knew was going to be really good day one, but I wasn't expecting for him to be a really good shooter and just have overall scoring prowess this early. Number 5, I have Caleb Wilson. Caleb Wilson scares the hell out of me because this dude literally just gets boards and dunks the ball. He's not good with the layups. He doesn't have good touch, but he is literally like not mini Zion. That's insane. That's a stupid comparison. He's not Zion coming out, but he's kind of just a rim running big. Like, he can handle the ball a little bit. He's a little bit of a playmaker. The jumper needs to get, dude. If he creates a jumper, this is an all NBA player. But Caleb Wilson, the thing I love about him is I know that's all that stuff is usually really cringe, with the whole like, I wrote his name on whatever, he had to take down Darren Peterson and all that crap, but he's played with some really bad guards. And like him and Vasar are really good and the guards are not good to say the least. Seth Trimble and the dude from Colorado State, Con Evans. They're not good. Caleb Wilson has been really good this year and so has Vasar. Again, I love the athleticism, and yeah, look, my point was, say what you want about the cringe stuff. It is a little cringe that he's, like, I'm crossing off this guy on my list and this guy on my list. But that's competitiveness, and that's what I love to see, that kind of toughness in a player, and strive to be the best, really, because and that gives me hope that he can develop a jump shot at some point, even if it's just a mid range, even if it's just, you know, pick and roll, pop out with the elbow, bang. If he can just become like if they, well, that's not a bad discussion because Jaren Jackson has become a really good shooter, over the years. Again, I think that's kind of the prototype, except Caleb Wilson plays decent defense. He's not amazing by any chance, but he's super bouncy, super athletic. Um, Again, like if he can just get the finishing touch, if he can get the touch a little bit better, he can get a little bit of a jumper. Like, dude, he could be an All NBA. That's my vision for him. Number 4, this is my first huge surprise. I have Cam Boozer. I know people have Cam Boozer number 1. He's honestly, if he played 4 years of college basketball, he would be the best college basketball player of all time. But how does this guy fit in the NBA? How does he fit in the NBA? He is a 6'9" center who has decent touch, but in general, there's no kind of moves there. He just kind of bully ball. What happens when you go up against Jaren Jackson, for example? Like, you're getting shut down, in my opinion. Like, I just, I don't know. I mean, okay, granted, the thing about Cam Boozer is his playmaking is pretty good, and like he can shoot a little bit, which gives me hope that he can become a 3-level scorer. But like, I just feel like this is a guy who's really good in college, but what is he at the next level? Like, what is he? Like, I don't. Like, I just comment down below if you guys are Cam Boozer guys. Like, what is he so great at that's gonna translate being an undersized center? He's not a power forward. I mean, I guess he has Pet next to Jamba, but dude, he's the reason, the fact that he's getting 20 and 20 as a 6'9" guy. Like, I don't know, like it's like kind of out athleticism and pretty much just being a bully. Like, and you know how many guys you can bully in the NBA? Not many. Like, I think he could be a solid player, but I don't see that kind of upside like I do the guy that I have at number 3. I don't see that. I don't see a way that Cam Boozer's an All NBA player. In all honesty, like, where is he? What's the ceiling there? Like 20 and 12. Like, but is he really gonna stack that many kind of that many boards in the NBA? Like, how? I don't know, dude. Like, his whole thing is drive right, body, bump, go up, and he makes it, and he gets a lot of putbacks. He can shoot a little bit. I'll give him credit for that. But he also plays no competition. He is a winner. I do love guys that know how to win. But, Mr. Mob. Oh, shoot. Cameron Boozer. Yeah, so he's averaging having 10 boards a game and 23 points. It's really good. Like, but again, like, what? He's 75 from the line, which, I mean, that's good. 2 steals. He doesn't block anybody. Okay, the 38% from 3. That is pretty good. But if I look at it, it's like 3 attempts a game. Granted, sometimes he goes high volume, and it's like, he was 3 for 4 against Louisville. Like I said, he can shoot a little bit, but I just don't really see much versatility there. And he plays heavy minutes, so he's putting up a lot of numbers. But again, like, he's gonna be just trying to out physical guys in the NBA, and that's like, what do I really? What's the upside there? Like, he is that good, and if he draws favorable matchups. But what if he's going to out physical Gobert in the paint? Like, he's not. He would get stopped by Gobert 10 times out of 10. But yeah, I don't know. You guys comment down below. I'm just not the highest guy on Cam Boozer. He's still at number 4 on my list because I think he'll be a solid player. But what is the upside? Like, I think he has a much better floor than a guy like Caleb Wilson, Kingston Flemings, Phylon, Michael, all these guys. He has a much higher floor. I think at worst, this guy is a solid starter. No, I wouldn't say starter. I would say just a solid player overall in the NBA. Like, and I know that, but what else is going to be? I don't think he's going to be a guy like the guy like my top the people in the top three had this chances to be crazy really good players. I just don't really see the same with Cam Boozer. So moving on to three. This is obviously my huge. I'm buying into the hype. Keenan Wagler, man, unbelievable. He turned into like this beginning of the year. It's like, man, it's Keaton Wagler kid out of Illinois or out of Kansas. He's pretty good. We'll see if he plays consistent minutes in Illinois. I mean, he has turned into a 6'6" point guard. He came in as a 3-and-D, like maybe he's a 3-and-D. Maybe I'll give you a little bit more. No, they run the pick and roll with him. He's a great passer. The shooting has been off the charts. His shooting is so great, and he shoots off the dribble, off the catch. So great. He's been one of the best players in college basketball, and that's not. He's a first team All American if the season ends today. He had the slower start to the year because he's not playing. He's not a starter. I mean, this is crazy. I'm going to ESPN. He doesn't even have a headshot. Like, it's unbelievable. He's 6'6". Like I said, 17 points per game. Looking at his game log, he had the crazy game against Purdue. Again, he had 28 today against Nebraska. That is a really good defense. I know their philosophy is trap the post, and that's going to leave him open 10 times out of 10. But he's playing 35 plus minutes now. Like, this is unbelievable. He shows up in big games, obviously. They went into Mackey and beat him, and he hit 9 threes. Now, granted, is he going to hit 9 threes every game? No. But he shoots consistently, literally 40 to 50% a game. He had 16 against Tennessee in 34 minutes, 19 against Nebraska the first time. I will say UConn, he was played off the floor. Now, how do we really gauge that? I think the most bizarre thing is that outside of the Big Ten, he hasn't been great. But this is early him. He's at this point where he's reached flow state. He is a super confident basketball player now. Like, he's just been super impressive. Like, I've been so impressed with the way he has been able to get through the pick and roll. I've been impressed with the way that he has been shooting off the dribble and off the catch. Playmaking, rebounding, defense even. But, I watch this guy drive, and he's getting these, they're so basic. It's like, I'll get to Darren Peterson, but it's like these basic finishes, but he just makes it look easy, man. Like, they're not that easy. It's basic. It looks so basic. He's not trying to twirl his body around and do anything like that. But it's just, I love watching the guy play. I think this guy could turn into a Cade, literally a Cade kind of impact with a 3 instead of more than midi. I like Keaton Wagler to be more of like that. I'm trying to think of a good comp, but I can't even think of 6'6" point guard with a great jump shot from 3, more not really the midi as much. Because Cade's still a midi and finishing oriented player, but Keaton Wagler can also finish. I love seeing him put on a little bit of weight because I'm kind of worried he's a little pushed around a little bit in the NBA, but put him next to a great big, like I said. And I think that in 3 years, if this guy's running your offense, I think you're fine with that. I really do. I think he turns into that kind of really great player. At number 2, I'm going to Bonsa too. DeBonsa for me, I think Darren Peterson, if he didn't have the hamstring issue, we might be talking about the best scoring player I've ever seen coming out of college. He plays for 20 minutes a game maybe, and then he tweaks his hamstring. But he's got 16 to 18 points every time he leaves the game. He makes this isn't Darren Peterson thing. All right, let me just go to Bonsa real quick. DeBonsa, I don't love the way that it's just kind of like a dribble, go up, I'm bigger than you. He's expanded a little bit. The 3 ball hasn't been great. But again, he's just an athletic freak, and if he learns how to play really, really good defense, which he can with that kind of athleticism and length, this is definitely an All-NBA player. It worries me a little bit because I don't really know what he's particularly great at. You go Cam Boozer, he's he's really a rebounder, and he's really good. He's got really good toughness. He knows how to win. Caleb Wilson, he's really good finisher. Well, I can't really say that. He's really athletic. kind of like Debonsa. Keaton Wagler, he's got a really great jumper, and he really controls the game, the tempo of the game. Darren, great, just an amazing 3-level scorer. Literally everywhere, he can shoot it from anywhere. Debonsa, to me, is like, his finishing's a little inconsistent, his finishing's good. His playmaking is decent, his handle's decent, his 3-point shooting is decent. I kind of like his midi, and like this little like mini post game he's got going on. He kind of reminds me of, this is gonna sound crazy, but it's a little bit like Cooper Flagg. Like Cooper Flagg was this like athletic freak, and Cooper Flagg finds ways to score. This is gonna sound crazy also when I say this. Like Debonsa kind of has this like LeBron type of play style, where he's really forget it. He has actually really good at finishing, and it's because of that hyper athleticism that he has, and that a lot of other guys don't. But yeah, it's the finishing, just the hyper athleticism. Like I kind of love the way, I don't like the way that it's kind of pound 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 go into you. I'm bigger than you, just trying to force up a shot. I love seeing him come off screens or try ISO, and I love that little pull up J from the elbow. I think that's the scout, is that he turns into like this like really dynamic wing scorer. Off ball really. I don't really see him as much as like a KD guy. Like I see more of like this Braun guy who's a wing scorer. He gets to the rim when he wants. And he can shoot a little bit. Plays good defense. That's the hope for Darren or Debonsa. Number 1, Darren Peterson, undebatable. This guy, just like, if he didn't have the hamstring issue, he's literally the best. He's literally the best scorer ever to come out. I think he's a better prospect than Cade. Like, I honestly cannot think of a guard prospect that has been as good as Darren Peterson. He's unbelievable. He shoots it. Any spot is his spot. He takes these fadeaway middies. He hits virtually every catch and shoot 3. He makes finishing look easy. And he plays off ball. He's literally Melvin Council is this on ball. This is weird. So when Darren Pearson was in college, he was this point guard, on ball guy, and all of a sudden he goes to college and he is just the best off ball scorer I've ever seen. Like, it's catch and shoot 3s. He takes it to the rim. It's easy. He pulls up from the elbow. He pulls up from the baseline. It's just free. He literally shoots like 6 for 9 and has a couple free throws to go with it, and like 2 or 3 threes. It's unbelievable. He's seriously the best scoring guard I've ever seen. That's not an understatement. If he didn't have the hamstring issue, he would literally be a Zion level prospect if he didn't have the hamstring issue. Granted, this seems kind of weird. This seems kind of fishy. He's just like, he's no interest in Kansas' success, which gives me a little bit of like a me issue. But still, he's the most talented player, and that's why I have him number 1. It's not debatable. If you watch the big 3 in other people's eyes, not my eyes, play, he's literally ahead of Debonsa, Boozer, Wagler, Caleb Wilson, in the way that he has this like mature scoring prowess. It reminds me of what everybody thought DJ Wagner was gonna be. Was this like, he's not gonna take a million dribbles, but he's gonna take 2 dribbles, he's gonna go up at you, and he's gonna hit a layup. Like, I love it, and I think that he is gonna be such a matured NBA scorer already. Like, he's going to be a crazy NBA scorer at all NBA level. If the dude just stays healthy, he could be one of the greats. Like, I'm serious when I say that. Like, he's unbelievable. Again, like, the scoring is amazing. So that's all I have for you. That's all I have for you today, guys. Stay tuned. I'm gonna post a graphic on Instagram, but really, like, as both drafts, NFL and NBA, near closer, I'll have analysis on both. So yeah, I'll see you guys later.